Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Isabel and this is my library. In today's video, I bring you another great book haul. I believe a while back I did the first round of this book haul and I had enough. I told you to do multiple book hauls and I told you I would split them up because if not, the video was gonna be like over 3 hours long and I was not lying. Yes, I have added a couple things here and there since that moment, but a lot of this bulk is still things that I've been accumulating, piling up. They've been piling up, and I haven't been able to tell you about them. And unless I formally tell you that, a book has come into my library because of a vlog or because of one of these hauls, I kind of just pile them up. A lot of them, you've seen me read them even before I even hauled them, and that's fine. But I like to always formally tell you, hey guys, this book has now entered my library. Especially since at this point, if you are a follower of my channel, you've seen my library tour, you know a lot of my books and what I have. If you have not seen my library tour, I'll go ahead and link it in the description box below so that you can kind of see all the books that are in my library. But yeah, I decided I wanted something cozy today and I wanted to just sit down and share with you all of these great books that I'm super excited to read and just have a little bit of conversation and maybe put some of them on your radar. Or maybe you've read these and you can tell me, hey, Isabel, bump that up. You need to read that like right now because it's that good. So thank you guys for joining me on this book haul. Thank you for being here with me. If you haven't subscribed yet, and you like book hauls like the one you're about to see now, and bookish content and stationery content, please make sure you subscribe. So I think we're ready. At this point, we can go ahead and start hauling these books. So as usual, what I try to do is I like to group them up by different categories so I can present them to you in some sort of order. And usually what I like to show you first are my puzzle books because I love them so much. And it's funny because I get so many of these puzzle books. One, because they're like so cheap. And a lot of times, like, they will recommend me, like, oh, here's this one because you bought these too. And there's like series of them. So I just keep buying them and I do them, but it's such a slow process. Like, I just finished one that I talked about in my October wrap up, the haunted house one. And I've been working on one that is like a word search one, I think for like 3 months, guys. And I do it on road trips. I do it when I'm just relaxing and my husband's like watching something I'm halfway interested in, and you guys probably know what I'm talking about, but I'm not like completely disinterested that I can be doing something else. And I'm not fully interested, so I can be watching just that. So it's something that I'm partially interested in, so I usually do those puzzle books during that time. And yeah, I'm hoping I can finish the one I've been working on for 3 months soon. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with the puzzle books. And all right, so I got them. And I have a couple of them. Okay, so first, you guys know I'm obsessed with the Myrtle books, right? So I've talked about them before on my channel, and I will talk about it right now in a second. I'm leaving it for the end, actually, for a special reason. But I love the Myrtle books and anything that's kind of like Myrtle. If you haven't checked them out, you should. They're really, really cool puzzle books that really mess with my mind and like make me think a lot, and I love them. But because I purchased those, they recommended to me these books, okay? And these are the Cludle books. And this is volume 1 and 2. I got them because they were on an incredible sale. I'm not even kidding, guys. I'm probably got these for like $6 or $5 each. Now they're back to like regular price or whatever, but I think they put them on sale every now and then, so you might want to look out for them. So first, look how cool the edges are. And then basically this one says, the case of the Dumpleton Diamond. Crack the case by solving 50 fiendishly fun puzzles. So what I like about these is that you're working on like one major case or one major, mystery while you get all these different types of puzzles, right? So, and they're divided by like tasks. So I love these so much, guys, because unlike Myrtle has the same kind of puzzle over and over again. Like they are all, these are the suspects, these are the places, and they have a very particular pattern to solving them. You have to find out who's lying and then eliminate, the lies from the truth. They have crossword puzzles, they have like jigsaw puzzles, matching things, logic things. So these look super, super cool. And so I basically got this first volume, and then I went ahead and got the case of the golden pomegranate, and that's the second one. So I'm looking forward to being able to read these soon. I really enjoy puzzle books, guys. I think I've talked so much about them on my channel. You guys know I have this entire shelf back here, and it overlaps to another shelf. The entire shelf is taken up with puzzle books. And they're a lot of fun because I like doing them on my own, but I also do a lot of them with my husband. So he and I will do a couple like together, and then if I get stuck, I go to him and he helps me, and because he has a lot of patience and I don't, I kind of get like, a little exasperated. But they're just so much fun, and they really, they meet all my needs. Like as a reader, there is a story that is happening that we are reading, so there's an actual like mystery novel thing that we are kind of, working on. But they also appeal to my love for puzzles, and I find them to be so much fun. They're great palate cleansers for me. They're great for when I have a few minutes to read but I don't want to pick up on a very dense kind of book. They're really good for when I am doing other things, like for example when I'm watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. I love pairing them up with a good puzzle book. So these two are the Cluedo ones, so I ended up getting those. And then you guys already know that I am a huge fan of everything that the Agatha Christie house puts together, and they do some real good quality releases. And so they have released two brand new ones. I actually pre-ordered these, and they just recently came out. And they are official Agatha Christie puzzle books. So this is the official Agatha Christie Poirot puzzle book. So this is an official one from them, and it says 100 puzzles and a murder mystery around the world. And what I do love is that a lot of these connect to her real books. So they are inspired by her novels with the character names and all of that. So that's really, really cool. And I also like that it incorporates, for example, like village gossip, which we know is big on a lot of like, these kinds of books. And it's divided, each chapter's like tackling like a new book, but it doesn't really spoil the books for you, so it's fine if you haven't read them. I like that they have different types of puzzles as well. So if you see here, like it shows you all the different books that are featured on there, and they're all Poirot mysteries where he's the detective. And I also got this one, which is like for younger kids. And I like it because sometimes the other ones are very challenging. So there are times that I want something slightly easier to just kind of like, relax a little bit. So I do enjoy some of these that are made for younger audiences. And they do have some different types of puzzles that we don't normally see. A lot of these like maze ones, and they're so incredibly beautiful. I love the illustrations. This one's focusing on like Mary Mead, so it includes some Miss Marple stuff too. And this is cute. It's 50 mystery puzzles for younger detectives. Here it says budding detectives. So yeah, I'm really excited with these. And I have purchased a couple of these that they've released before. So if you love Agatha Christie and puzzle books, these are a recommendation that I have for you. And then lastly, I did get a Myrtle book, and I think I have them all at this point. I'm not sure, but this one is Mary Myrtle, so I'm gonna save it for Christmas time. And that's kind of why I wanted to do it now, because what follows is also going to be Christmas related. So basically, this one says 25 fiendishly festive logic puzzles. And these are traditional Myrtle puzzles where you have your list of suspects and your locations and your weapons, and then you have to fill out this chart. So that is normally what these are like. The the Myrtle ones. So if you've never played one, this is kind of what they look like, and they really make you think, guys. Like normally these are divided by easy, intermediate, and then more difficult. I don't know if this one does it, but let me tell you, even the easy ones can prove to be challenging. But they're very, very cool. And Myrtle has become a huge thing. And Myrtle also has like a board game. I've seen they have lots of stuff. So if you've never tried one out, I highly recommend it. All right, so now that I've talked to you about my puzzle books, I want to talk to you about these next books, which most of them are either thriller or mysteries, but they all take place during Christmas time, or they are all connected to Christmas things. And I want to do a vlog next month in December where I do read Christmas focused things, but clearly, I'm a thriller and horror lover, so they have to also connect to that. Yes, I also have like some romance and stuff like that that takes place during Christmas time, but I think I want to limit it to horror and mystery and thriller. So let me walk you through some of these. So this one I picked up on one of my trips to Barnes and Noble. This one is called 25 Days, and this is by Per Jacobson. And it says, the countdown to Christmas has never been scarier. And look at these little lights here. And it says, hoping to bring his family closer together, Adam Gray arranges a vacation to a remote cabin on a snowy mountain. I'm sold already. Family reunion, isolated, close circle mystery in a location that has inclement weather. Sign me up. Things take a dark turn, however, when someone starts leaving gifts in the Christmas stocking mounted on the barn door. And that's all I'm gonna read. You guys know I like to go blindly into these, but this I think is going to be so good. All right, so then I went ahead and got Murder Most Haunted by Emma Mason. And again, it's set during Christmas time. We see snow here, and it says one haunted house, one impossible crime, one killer weekend. So it says an unforgettable heroine is faced with an unbelievable crime in this snarky, charming, locked room mystery that asks, would you rather be snowed in with a ghost or a murderer? So this is like thriller slash horror, supernatural stuff. I don't know. But I can't think of anything that's like cozier than like these Christmas or holiday mysteries and thrillers. I am so excited. I might want to read this the entire month. This might be a vlog that I do all month long because I'm I'm all about these books, guys. Do you like these books? Let me know if you like all of these mysteries or thrillers or horror books set in Christmas time because I love them. So next we have The Christmas Party by Michaela Davids, and this is clearly a thriller. And it says, a family reunion, a shocking secret, a night to die for. And I'm thinking this is going to be one of those very like fast-paced thrillers. It also has one of these things that I really love. I hope you can see that because my ring light is kind of like in the way. But it says the perfect daughter, the alcoholic, the single mother, the liar, the handsome husband, the adulterer, and so on and so forth. And I feel like, you know, Lucy Foley books, for example, always do that. They have like the trope of the traditional characters, and they each have like a thing, that they a way that they pitch them to you. So I love that, and I like that this has this. And it says, on a snowy December night, the Bailey family are gathered at an isolated hotel in the English countryside. They're reuniting for the first time since the accident that shattered their lives 10 years ago. I love when there's like a good seeker from the past, and then there's like revenge. It says it's time for love and forgiveness, but more than one guest has an ulterior motive. So that one sounds great. Then I have The Winter Spirits, Ghostly Tales for Frosty Nights. So I'm excited for this one. I know I've talked about this one before on my channel. I absolutely love this front cover. And this is just more of these like very like spooky, scary stories set during the Christmas time. And then lastly, I have Murder at Holly House, which I just acquired recently. You'll see this in a vlog where I got it and all of that, in a vlog soon. I'm just editing that vlog and putting it together. So it says, in a village of lies, death comes with the snow. And it says, Yorkshire, 1952. Christmas is first approaching when a dead stranger is found lodged up in the chimney of Holly House in the village of Elderby. Is he a simple thief or a would-be killer? A mystery that cannot be solved, and a Christmas to remember. So this sounds like it's going to be great. So those are some cool Christmas themed, spooky, and thrillery books that I cannot wait to get to this December. And so next, I have some cozy mysteries. Let's, bring on the cozy mysteries that I have gotten within the last couple months. So first, we have this one, which is Haunted Homicide by Lucy Ness, and it's a haunted mansion mystery. And this is a new series that I have not read from before. It says Avery Morgan has been hired to breathe new life into the Portage Path Women's Club, but first she'll have to deal with a dead body and a meddling ghost. And I love that it has like a supernatural twist to it. And again, I think this one's going to be like a very, very fast read. I also went ahead and got Caught Dead-Handed, a Witch City Mystery by Carol J. Perry. And look how beautiful these buildings are. And of course, there's a little cat. And it says, she's not a psychic, she just plays one on TV. Most folks associate the city of Salem, Massachusetts with witches, but for Lee Barrett, it's home. This October, she's returned to her hometown, where her beloved Aunt Ibby still lives, to interview for a job as a reporter at Witch TV. But the only opening is for a call-in psychic to host the late-night horror movies. It seems the previous host, Ariel Constellation, never saw her own murder coming. I'm laughing already, and it's only the first paragraph of the synopsis. I just love cozies that are this witty and punny and have all those cute little, like, hidden things. And it's a brand new series, so I'm excited to check that one out. And then lastly, in cozies, I went ahead and got A Quiet Life in the Country, a Lady Hardcastle mystery. And I've heard great things about this series. This is by T.E. Kinsey. Have you read this series before? I've heard great things about it. It's been on my list forever. So I finally decided to pick it up a couple months back. And it says it's anything but quiet in the country. Lady Emily Hardcastle is an eccentric widow with a secret past. Florence Armstrong, her maid and confidant, is an expert in martial arts. The year is 1908, and they've just moved from London to the country hoping for a quiet life. But it is not long before Lady Hardcastle is forced out of her self-imposed retirement. There's a dead body in the woods, and the police are on the wrong scent. Lady Hardcastle makes some inquiries of her own, and it seems she knows a surprising amount of crime investigation. So that's all I'm going to read. I don't want to keep reading the rest. But it reminds me of Miss Marple. It reminds me of like a cozy countryside kind of setting with an elderly woman as the detective. I love everything about that. Give that all to me. So can't wait to get to it. All right, next I have two middle grade books, and these are both sequels pretty much to books that I've read and loved. So if you guys follow my channel, quite a few months ago I read The Mystery of the Locked Doors. I think that's what it was called. And then this is the sequel, The House with No Keys, the Delta Games book 2. And I really enjoyed book 1. And I love continuing middle grade series. I think it's so much fun. I get attached to the characters and I want to know more. So if I remember correctly, I can't really tell you in case you haven't read the first one. Never mind. So yeah, this is going to continue from where we left off, but I don't want to say that because it's a slight spoiler if you haven't read it. But I think this was a wonderful series. I love the friendship, as I do in most of these middle grade books. So yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing in the series with that one. And I also went ahead and got book 2 of The Sinister Summer series, and this one is Vampiric Vacation, and these are by Kirsten White. In my latest vlog where I read a middle grade, I did read book one, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, and I was really excited to pick this one up because it takes place in like a castle and it has vampires, and I am also excited to find out what the bigger mysteries are of the story, because I had told you that we found that the solutions to the mysteries of the smaller scale mystery, but not like of the bigger scale. And again, we have these lovely portrait like illustrations, which I love. And then it says, can Theo and Alexandra uncover the secret of the spa? And again, I love them. I love Theo and Alexandra. It was so much fun reading from their point of views. And so I'm excited for book two. And this one's a little bit thicker than the other one. So I think they're getting a little bit longer. And I hope it's just as whimsical and cute, but that it also has some spooky vampires along the way. So next I want to show you some thrillers I picked up. So I feel like it's been a minute since I've read like a true thriller. Let me see. What was the last true thriller that I read? Oh, well, I read The Freedom McFadden, The Intruder. Yeah, last month, but it didn't really feel like a true thriller. But it's been a minute since I've found like a thriller that I was kind of obsessed with. So these are 4 of them that I've picked up. And the interesting thing is that these are all by authors that I have not read from. So I'm trying different thriller authors. I tend to stick to the ones that I kind of know and I know I'll like, but I've been curious about some, newer kind of thriller authors. So if you've read any of these books or from these authors, let me know. So this is Reader's Retreat by Michael Lane. And this one says it's perfect for readers of Adrian McKenty's The Island, which I have read from that author before, not that book, but I've read Adrian McKenty. Ruth Ware's One by One. I've read Ruth Ware a ton, and I have read Ruth Ware's One by One and loved it. And it says it's isolated, dangerous, and impossible to put down. It says 7 thriller fans, 1 remote island, a dream retreat turned deadly. That's all I'm going to read. I've never read the synopsis, and I don't want to. You guys know I love a retreat, an island, a bunch of like fans, or some sort of like reality TV thing. So these are all thriller fans and they're stuck in a thriller. I love that. So very excited. I love an island setting. I've read so many good island setting books. I know they mentioned Ruth Ware One by One, but they probably should have mentioned the Ruth Ware where they're on an island and they're like in a reality TV show. I love that one. I can't remember right now. It's the blue cover one. You know what I'm talking about if you've read it, but it reminds me kind of like that same kind of premise. So excited to do Reader's Retreat. And in addition, before I let it go, I love the Writing Retreat. So if this Reader's Retreat is anything as wacky and wild as the Writer's Retreat, count me in. Next is The Prediction by Faith Gardner. A new marriage, a perfect home, an ominous warning that it's all a lie. So we have a domestic thriller. I don't think I've read a domestic thriller in a long time, but I've been on a kick of wanting to read more domestic thrillers. Domestic thrillers, when they're good, man, they're great. Okay. And I know a lot of them are not great, but when you find a really, really good one, they're really, really good. Then we have this one that I've seen everywhere, but I don't know if people love it or not. I just see this cover everywhere. Tell me if you don't. It's called Salem's Fall by Rectock Ross. And I also know that summer rental book is really popular. And this one says, the past never stays buried for long. Every town has its secrets. James Woodson is used to being underestimated. Top of her class at Harvard Law, she's brilliant, beautiful, and now the youngest female associate in Boston's most elite criminal defense firm. But after a devastating misstep on her first case, she has one last shot at redemption. Her assignment, defend Damien Blackhollow, a dangerously charming billionaire accused of murdering his fiancée. So I kind of like that it's taking place like in a courtroom setting. I did not know that that's what this one was about. I do love this like Halloween looking cover. I'm not sure how that plays in to this. I guess I would have to read like the second paragraph, but I don't want to. See, I already see that it takes place in Salem, so that's kind of cool. I don't want to read anymore. Clearly Salem's Fall. So I don't want to read any more of the synopsis, but I'm very, very intrigued with this one. And then the last thriller that I have here is The Thicket by Noelle W. Eiley. I'm not sure how you pronounce her last name. And I have never read from this author before, but this is a theme park, I think, an amusement park. So it says Nora can't stop thinking about the night her brother died. She was supposed to stay with him. He begged her to stay, but the wooded maze inside the Halloween carnival was too scary. And that was before everyone realized, hidden in plain sight among the costume staff, that there was a real killer in the woods. I love this. So we have a Halloween amusement park. Something goes terribly wrong. Oh, this is so good. I don't know if I want to save this for Halloween season again, but I mean, I'm pretty intrigued. I'd like to get to it fairly soon. Let me know if this is one that you have read and if you enjoyed it, and I should maybe bump it up a little bit. All right, so next I have some horror books, which you know I love some good horror. So first we have Teenage Girls Can Be Demons by Haley Piper, and I have seen this everywhere. This also reminds me of that other cover of that book. Hmm. I can't remember which one it is now, but I think she's a werewolf or a wolf, but it kind of looks like that. And it says Piper can twist you into otherworldly shapes while still reminding you of your essential heartbreaking humanity. And it's blurred by Nat Cassidy. I like Nat Cassidy a lot. And this says it's 13 coming of age stories, the way only Bram Stoker award-winning author Haley Piper can tell them. Wildly inventive, brilliantly imaginative, and completely and utterly enthralling. So this is a collection of short stories. I didn't even know this. I got this as a part of my Nightworms package. I also have a beautiful the autograph is there. So this came as my Nightworms subscription. It was part of that, and I did not know that this was an anthology or a collection of short stories. So I'm very, very excited because I do love a good horror short story. I also went ahead and picked up Crafting for Sinners by Jenny Kiefer, and I've seen this everywhere. And I especially saw my friend Caitlin spill the reads talking about this, and she was so excited to get to this. And I'm excited too. It seems so wacky. All I really know, and I'm not reading the back because I think I already know too much. I know that it's like a horror story taking place like in a craft store, and it's reminding me of Grady Hendrix with the IKEA feeling book, horror store or whatever. So this is kind of reminding me of this. And it says Crafting for Sinners is surreal, terrifying, and thrilling, and looks right down at the barrel of cultural horrors at the center of our current area. I love this. You will love this. Chuck Wendig. And I love Chuck Wendig, and I think it's so cool that he has blurbed this. And I think the premise alone is very, very interesting for that one. Then I also went ahead and got Breathe In and Bleed Out. So I went to Barnes & Noble and saw this, and I had to have it. I love the very vintage, pulpy looking drawing there, illustration, and this is by Brian McCauley, and it has been blurbed by the one and only Stephen Graham Jones. I love him. And Nat Cassidy also has blurbed it in the back. And it says, "Don't kill my vibe. Hannah has been running from her demons ever since she emerged from a harrowing wilderness trip without her fiance. No one knows exactly what happened the day Ben died, and Hannah would only like to keep it that way, even if his ghost still haunts her with vivid working nightmares that are ruining her life." So that's all I'm going to read, but doesn't that sound cool? And I couldn't resist this pulpy kind of, cover. And I believe, because they just released the Goodreads nominees, and I looked at the horror category, and I believe this is one of the nominees. So I know I'm planning all these different projects for what I'm going to do with the nominees, vlogs that I want to make, and going over like the list and such. So I think I might want to pick this up sooner than later. And then lastly, I went ahead and picked up a non-fiction horror, which is why I love horror essays on horror literature. So you guys know I love horror nonfiction. It's one of my favorite types of nonfiction to read. I believe I ended up ordering this initially because it was one of Kayla's besties book club choices. So Kayla does a special book club just for her members, and this is one of them. And I just love a good essay discussing horror. And a lot of the writers for this are people I love. Grady Hendrix has an essay here, Paul Tremblay, Cynthia Pelayo, Rachel Harrison, Tanana Reeve Dew, Gabino Iglesias. So the essays are all written by these horror writers that I really love. So I'm thinking this is something that I will really, really enjoy. All right, and now we are ready for the last category, which is mysteries. I've gone a little crazy and I've bought quite a few mystery books. I'm excited. As you know, You Are Fatally Invited, which is a mystery thriller, is my favorite book of the year. And I also read How to Survive a Horror Story, and I really like that one too. So I've been really liking these mysteries lately, and I can't get enough of them. So the first one that I went ahead and picked up is Miss Winter in the Library with a Knife. So hello, does anything like sound like something I would love in this list besides this? I think this would be like my main thing that I would love. So this is by Martin Edwards, and it says find the clues, play along, solve the murder first. So clearly shouting out Clue, my favorite thing ever. It says a true master of British crime writing by Richard Osman. Then the back says find the clues, solve the puzzles, can you survive and win the game? And what I love is that in my initial flip through of this, I saw that there are some puzzle looking things. Like obviously I'm not looking too much. It's not mixed media completely, but it does have a couple of those things. And I think I'm going to absolutely love this. I haven't seen many people talk about it. Let me know if you have read it. Let me know if you think I'll love it, because I think I will love it. So next I picked up A Murder for Miss Hortense by Mel Pennant. And this just looks so adorable. It says a beautiful novel suffused with fondness and wit, a real triumph. And I thought that was such a beautiful description. It says Miss Hortense is sharper than Poirot, tougher than Vera, and a better cook than Columbo. It's Murder, She Wrote as you've never seen it before. I don't need anything else, guys. All of those comparisons, then saying it's like Murder, She Wrote, sign me up. Like this, I think this is going to be a new favorite. And I think it's quirky. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be cute. And I have very, very high hopes for this one. So then I also went ahead and got The Treasure Hunters Club by Tom Ryan. And this one has, look at this beautiful map on the end papers, and it says, everyone in my family has killed someone meets the Goonies in the Treasure Hunters Club, a rollicking murder mystery set in a seaside town filled with pirate lore, family secrets, and unforgivable grudges, secret societies, and of course a treasure to be found. I don't know, guys, like this sounds amazing. I think if I remember rightly, I saw someone talking about it recently, and I remember them saying that they enjoyed the premise a lot, that there were obviously some things with the writing that they thought could have been better, but that they were very impressed with it. So I'm hoping that I end up very impressed with it too. Then I went ahead and picked up The World's Greatest Detective and Her Just Okay Assistant. Oh my goodness, like what? How cute is that? I love that title. This is by Lisa Tully. It says a brilliant boomer detective and her ambitious Gen Z assistant struggle to get along in this delightful feel-good mystery. This almost feels like a cozy. I think this is probably going to be a cozy, so I should probably put it in that category, but I think it's adorable. I love like the banter. I know I'm gonna enjoy like the whole age discrepancy here, like kind of picking on each other because of their ages and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. And then the last one that I want to share with you today is The Hearth Witch's Guide to Magic and Murder by Kiri Gallahan. And look how beautiful these sprayed edges are. I think, guys, this is like a murder mystery with like fantasy, magic, and all of that. So I think I'm really gonna like this. It says, for all intents and purposes, we are still blissfully separated from the mortals, but there have been complications. When a rise in London's supernatural crime puts Fae society at risk of discovery, the Winter Council turns to an unlikely solution. Avery Hemlock, the changeling they sentenced to 500 years of nightmares, inherently lacking social grace and missing approximately 2 centuries of world knowledge. Avery must find a way to acclimate and solve the case or lose her probationary freedom. So I think this one's going to be adorable, and I think it's going to be cool, and it's a mixture of genres, which I think will be nice, especially since I don't have a lot of experience with fantasy. I think this would be like a nice little connector. And I just loved this. Again, this is one of those I saw at Barnes& Noble and I thought it was so beautiful. I had to pick it up. And look at these illustrations. They're very fantasy. But I think that's the way for me to dip my toes into this, like if there's a murder mystery involved. And I am very excited. So there you have it, guys. All of the books that I shared with you today are still not all the books that I have to show you as a part of book hauls, but I decided that I was going to at least share with you quite a few. I think I went over like 30 or 40 books today with you. I'm excited to get to all of them. Please let me know. Have you read any of these? Do you think I'll love them? Should I add them immediately to my TBR? Should I make any of them a part of my list for 26 books I want to read in 2026? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here with me. I absolutely am so thankful for you and for you watching my videos and liking my videos. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And I look forward to talking to you in the next one. Bye!